Travis Reier and Charlie Potter, the BamaOnline.com staff, outside Tuesday morning's practice at the University of Alabama. Charlie, the final on-campus workout before this team takes a few days off for the Christmas holiday before reconvening to make the trip to Dallas for the 2015 college football playoff semifinal matchup with Michigan State. And as we've said over the last few days, not a lot of news coming out of practices, and for the most part, that's good news.
Yeah, I mean, I think, what has it been, 5 or 6, maybe 7 practices? We've only had one guy that seemed to be limited, and that's been Alphonse Taylor. And he was back doing a little bit more today, and getting the break to go home for Christmas, and then when's the game start? The 31st, so
Yeah.
A little less than 2 weeks to go. I mean, he should be good to go for kickoff. But I mean, like you said, I mean, I think this has given Alabama a chance to get a break, to get healthy, and to work on fundamentals and getting back to the basics, as Saban and all the players have said. So this has been a good few days of practice, and now they'll go home for Christmas.
I don't think anybody looks forward to exams, but I think this team probably could use them when they came, because a 13-game schedule basically with one bye week. I think it came at a great time for them to get a week and a half off their feet in terms of the practice field, rejuvenate, refresh. As you said, maybe a guy or two that's limited. We heard Nick Saban on Monday kind of touch on that topic, that had a few guys banged up, but he felt like everyone would be ready to go by the time they got to Dallas. So a situation that you couldn't ask more of. They had some injuries early in the season at wide receiver, still remain thin there, but despite all that, managed to put together a solid trio of core receivers for what they do. But from an injury standpoint, no excuses, I don't believe, for this team as they get ready to head west.
No, I mean, this is a remarkably healthy team. Usually, teams would willingly accept this fortune in terms of health. That's not to say something couldn't happen in Dallas, and knock on wood, hopefully it doesn't. Like, you never want to see a guy get hurt, but it's been a really lucky year for Alabama in that regard. I mean, you've only lost one guy for the year in Robert Foster, who's a contributor, and that's, you usually don't hear that in this day and age.
Yeah, the coaching staff, nothing new there. Jeremy Pruitt out, checking out some practices. We've seen him a good bit in an observer's role. An interesting dynamic, because I'm sure he's checking out personnel when looking ahead to next year, but also in terms of the coaching staff itself, what he'll inherit. He's worked with Bo Davis, obviously, in the past, but when you talk about Mel Tucker and you talk about Tosh LaPoy, a couple guys that he hasn't worked with, so some familiarity probably going on there as well.
Yeah, I mean, but those two have proven to be two young, good coaches, especially LaPoy. He has kind of like that fire spirit I think that Pruitt has, and he's a good recruiter as well. I think they'll mesh pretty well. I'd be interested to see what happens to Mel Tucker when I guess all the dust settles from the playoff. That'll be something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, and the NFL, obviously, kind of how that shakes out on Black Monday.
Yeah.
Following the final NFL game, staffs change, coaches fired. Does Tucker make his way back to the NFL? And if he does he take a lateral job? Because if there's not a defensive coordinator position that comes open in the NFL that he fits into, he's making a lot of money here. I mean, he's assistant head coach in title, but he's the secondary coach.
Right.
He's set to make $600,000 next season. I don't think defensive back coaches, even in the NFL, make $600,000 a year. So it will be interesting to see how it plays out with Mel Tucker. Shifting gears real quickly before we head out, the basketball team, the men's basketball team on Monday night, a solid showing against a very good, very talented Oregon team. Excellent first half. Justin Coleman unconscious once again, carried over that second half from Winthrop into the Oregon game, but kind of a tough second half. Things didn't go as well as they had hoped. Oregon really showed its strength, I thought, in the final 20 minutes. But all in all, a pretty good environment over in Birmingham.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was really well done. In terms of the matchup, Oregon kind of posed some problems to Alabama on paper heading into that game. And, I didn't know if Alabama could pull out that win, but there for a while it looked like it was going to happen. Avery Johnson said after the game he expected to win, and after the first half they put together, I did too. I had my story already written, ready to go. But like you said, Oregon got a kick in the pants at halftime, and Alabama's turned the ball over too many times. But to be able to do what they did against a good Oregon team, a team that will likely make the NCAA tournament, could be ranked in the coming weeks, I think says a lot, especially with no Shannon Hale, no Dazon Ingram, and with Rhett and Obasanjo struggling from the floor, I think it shows the job that Avery Johnson's done and the potential of this team.
Yeah, if a team truly takes on the personality of its coach, I think that's what we've seen for sure through 10 games. There is unmatched intensity and energy on both ends of the floor. They contest everything defensively. Everyone's involved on the offensive end. Coleman obviously has been the star of late, but you get the feeling that if you're on the floor, you have a chance to be involved. And it's been a lot of fun to watch. They have Jacksonville State, Norfolk State coming up to sort of wrap up the non-conference season. And if I told you a month ago they'd be 9-3 going into SEC play, would you take it if you're an Alabama fan?
Absolutely. I didn't expect that. Avery Johnson said in the beginning of the season that obviously they've been an underdog in every game, and I guess he just kind of squashed any high expectations to start the season. But now they're there. They've faced a pretty strong non-conference schedule, and they've come out with wins that I don't think people expected them to have, with wins over Notre Dame, Wichita State, and coming close against a good Oregon team. So I definitely think that's something that you can hang your hat on and go to bed easy, I guess, for Avery Johnson.
As we wrap up, I want to wish everyone out there a Merry Christmas, all the BOL subscribers and viewers in general. I know Charlie going to enjoy some family time. I'm going to do the same, and then you'll head out to Dallas. I'll be shortly behind you. Wish everybody out there, yourself, safe travels, right?
Yeah. I know a lot of people would make that trip to Dallas, but definitely enjoy time with your family. I'm going to take a few days to do that, and then heading out to Dallas Christmas Day night, so it's a quick turnaround.
Should be a lot of fun. Keep it right here on BamaOnline.com for continuing coverage of the college football playoff from the Alabama perspective. For Charlie Potter, I'm Travis Reier, wishing each and every one of you a safe and joyous Christmas.